Can anybody hear me? Just got some things I have to get off my chest. Hey guys. So, for those of you who just joined my live, I got a bone to pick. Okay, with the people of the bibble. I said it though. Some of you may know, my name is Prophetess LGBTQ, and is that as loud as it can go? I don't know. Can you guys hear me? I don't know if you can hear me. I'm not sure how this works until I don't do this often. Settings. There we go. Moderators. Okay. Comments. Duration. Alright, cool. That sounds good. Okay. So this is as good as we're gonna get. Hey, hi Pinterest review. So today's really quick live because I don't do live a lot. As you guys know, I got a problem with the way I look these days. But anywho, the Queen. I've made a couple of videos about this. Y'all, I'm a little upset. A lot of people are under the impression that a queen died. And then there's all those people who, one, don't believe in the Bible, don't believe in God at all, or don't believe in the church. Their queen died too? No. I broke it down really easily. Only Christians who believe in the Christian Judeo faith believe that the queen died. Because only the Christians believe that the holy book, where God picked men, priests, judges, and kings, that's where your royalty started, in the Bible. I was about to start a show here called Guns Powder with Kat Harrington, you know, from the Game of Thrones. And it was talking about 1605, where King James I of Scotland took over the throne. Now, my dad was Scottish. Rest in peace, Dad. But I still don't believe in the Queen. I don't believe in royalty at all. I don't believe that a deity in heaven needs us. Period. And he definitely doesn't need us to take control of one another. But today we live in a democracy here in America, and there across the pond, they have royalty. So we have this system of authority that we must respect. And if you don't, they get on to you. They get upset. Okay, they get upset if you don't respect the Queen's death. They get upset if you don't expect other people to, if you don't, respect the fact that she died and that there's a succession. I don't believe there was ever an actual royalty. Like the life says, who named royalty? For all of you who say the royalty was chosen in the Bible, those are the ones who believe, the Biblians, the ones who believe that God wrote a book, gave us an instruction manual to tell us how to behave ourselves, how to treat one another, and also, most importantly, what not to do to not go to heaven. All of that was written in one fucking book. Okay, one book. Okay, now we're not talking about the Second Testament. We're just talking about the First Testament. We're not going to get into the fact that it took two testaments to get this one point across. But the First Testament, the deity in heaven that you claim picked queens, kings, and judges and priests and stuff, that one testament, he needed man. The God the Christian claims to serve. He needed man. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He needed us. It says so in the good book. Okay, no, it says it in the book. Okay, now God wouldn't write it down if it wasn't true. That's what you tell me. God wouldn't write it down if it wasn't true. God wouldn't write down that he needed mankind to judge, proselytize, and rule his fellow man if he didn't need us to do that. So when I ask you, do you actually serve your deity? Do you actually worship your deity, or do you control your deity? Some Christians get a little upset. What's the difference? That's a good question. And if that is a question that you have in your mind, that's a problem. That's a problem. We should talk about it. Let's talk about it. Okay, so if you believe that your deity loses power because he wrote down he needed man, I don't see how that's worship. That's not what I'm here about today. Today, I'm real upset, okay? That 1605, specifically, okay, that year, was about the same century, at least, where they were killing witches. Okay. Now, me and my fellow witches here on TikTok, we got a problem with the fact that one human being throughout time, got to decide that witches were bad. That people with autism or were on the spectrum of any kind, they are bad. They are possessed by demons. Now, all of these belief systems that live today came from the Bible. Okay? Now, the same Bible that picked kings, priests, and judges also took no for an answer. The same testament, okay? The very same testament where he's giving us all these jobs. Okay? The same book. He needs us from jump. Why would a deity in heaven need man? It's very upsetting to a lot of Christians. I understand that. But I want you to just take a little gander poo, okay, from perspective that I serve. The God in heaven, the divine I worship, doesn't need me. Doesn't need my worship. Doesn't need my belief. He damn sure doesn't want me to follow a book that they blame on him for writing. Let's talk about 1605. When we had the Salem witch trials here in America. But at that time, we weren't yet America. We were this little colony. Okay. It's called Salem. All right. And they were burning witches and stuff. Now, I've learned a little bit of my history. Witches. Oh, yes, he did. Yes, he did. James Hadcliffe. He also was gay. I don't know if you were aware of that. The King James Version was written by a bisexual king. Just a side note. Anyway, yes, he had slaves. All of the things that are in the Bible were justified. Do you have it? Because God wrote it. That means slavery, that was justified by God. Serfdom, that was justified by God. All of the bad things that you think that humans shouldn't do to one another anymore was justified by God in the first book. He had all that shit laid out in the First Testament. I'm not quite sure why you needed another testament telling you that God was no good. But when he's picking kings, priests, and judges, he made that line royal. No, they're anointed by feckin' God, okay? There will always be anointed by feckin' God, and they have been ever fucking since. Ever since King James and his buddy poos decided to write a Bible and blame God for writing some, okay? Now it's the Holy Spirit of Jesus and God that are writing this Bible, okay? So God has some things to say. He said no on multiple fucking occasions. He said, let my people go. Okay. Let my people go. Okay. Let my people go. Okay. Now, all of the plagues, the pestilence, all of the bad things that took place according to the Bible, well, that's God's fault too. So we get to take the royal line from the Bible, and that remains to this day. But we got rid of slavery because y'all don't want to own your fellow fucking man. It looks a little bad in heaven and stuff on your conscience and whatnot. But we can still have a queen. We can still get offended when someone disrespects her and says she was never a queen in the first fucking place. She was just a human being that happened to have a pedophile for a son. When you say these things, certain people get upset. But then there's other people who want to remind you of your history, especially here in America, okay? Those people want you to remember that the book you claim is holy also told you that your God left you on multiple occasions. Ding, ding, ding. That's why you needed judges, priests, and kings. God felt, since you weren't listening to him, maybe I'll put one of you guys in charge instead. Ever since, there has been a succession. Coming back to this show, Guns Powder with Kat Harrington, we were telling people that they were not worthy to live in our country. They were not worthy to live in peace. They just weren't fucking worthy. Let me tell you why. Because they were Catholic. So you hear about how all the Catholics are doing all these horrible things and they're doing some nasty things to little children in the Catholic Church today. But back in the day, the Catholics were persecuted. Yes, they were. They were persecuted. Now, mind you, this heifer will never tell you the Catholics were fucking innocent and did nothing else to mankind. Nay. To this day, let's just say the Pope has some answering to do. Him, the Father of God. Him, the Holy Father on earth. Not here for that today. Okay, the Pope. I repossessed him. If y'all want to go and check that out. I have repoed the Pope. I repoed that motherfucker. Yes, I did. Because I'm not sure why. There's one man chosen by his peers, not by God, who runs the entire Catholic fucking faith. The same faith that in 1600s were being persecuted. They were being hanged. Mass was forbidden. Now, I'm confused. I had to do a live, y'all, for this one fucking, you gotta make a mess of this. In 1605, y'all were persecuting, Catholics. After the Spanish Inquisition, y'all know exactly what the fuck to do to get the right answer, okay? Even if it wasn't really actually an answer, it's just whatever the fuck you needed to hear so that you stop torturing them. And you're hanging them, you're forbidding them to go to Mass. You, Protestants, by the way, that was King James I's kingdom. They were Protestant, okay? They didn't like Catholics. I want you to remember something. Every single one of those sects, S-E-T-S's, they're all Christian. Catholics, Christian. The Protestants are Christian. The Baptists, the Pentecost. They're all fucking Christian, okay? They are all human beings who believe in a righteous kill of one man who said too much. It doesn't matter which part of the Bible you believe in. If you believe that the Bible is real and written by God, you are in fact a Christian. This is just what the fuck it means, okay? That's what that means. So if you believe in God and Jesus Christ, then you believe in the Bible. But if you believe in God, period, then you don't believe the Bible is real. You don't believe Jesus Christ is required. And you're like me. All throughout history, we were given the charge to take care of ourselves. No. There's no reason for the divine to be anything other than read about. No, we're going to read about him. We don't have to respect him. Not as supreme, at least. We can read about him. We don't actually have to keep him alive. No, he's a good sacrifice, you see. We didn't actually respect the author of the fucking book. We just used his book to justify our hatred. Catholics, Protestants, Baptists, Pentecost alike. All Christians. You guys do not discriminate. Especially not against each other, okay? Catholics don't to this day like anybody else. No. No Christians are as good as Catholics are, okay? To this day, they're the best. Just go ask them, okay? You can't get better than a Catholic. You can't get more holy than a Catholic. You can't get more pious than a fucking Catholic. But back in the day, when King James was in around and he was writing his version, okay, him being bisexual and whatnot, you couldn't be Catholic. You were forbidden from going to Mass. You couldn't practice your religion. So I bring that up because at that time, y'all were telling us that witches were in league with the devil. Now, mind you, it's my opinion, prophetess LGBTQ, that the devil is in fact a figment of the Christian imagination. Yes, no, God has a foe. Yes, he does. Yes, he fucking does. He has a foe. And that foe sometimes wins. Sometimes when that foe wins, he gets some souls. From God, he steals. He steals. He's a what does he call it? A thief, a deceiver, and a destroyer. Oh, yes. This devil is fantastically more powerful than the God they claim to serve. That's just what I said. Okay, now the same royal line, okay, that started in the Bible, okay, now their same people, same line, goddamn you. I don't know how many of you know about history, but the line, the ancestral line that started in the Bible. First of all, I don't believe it's royal. I don't believe God needs man. That's just what I said. Now, they didn't actually biologically earn that throne. Nay. No, it might have started that way in the Bible. But after the Bible was, done and written and read and all that, we just fought over the throne. We killed for that throne. We incest and raped and did whatever we needed to secure that motherfucking throne. That was our throne. It was our throne. It went to Scotland. It went to England. It went to here. It went to there. It went to everywhere. And that's why it's called the United Kingdom. Because all of the people who tried to rule that motherfucker are now part of a kingdom. Now, the United Kingdom is the holiest kingdom in the whole goddamn world. Did you know why? Because they still have a biblically anointed royal fucking line. Oh, yes, they do. You'll talk about the queen died. No, the fuck she didn't. The present queen, still alive. Yeah, side piece. All side hoes. Hallelujah, congratulations. Camille made it real. Made it a dream. She made that dream real. Yes, she did. She did, indeed. Did she earn that title? No. Did she marry into that title? No. She did eventually, after she killed off her competition. So that's what I mean about the throne. You claim that it's biblically anointed, but you killed off your enemy to get a hold of that fucker. And to keep it growing, to keep it united, you killed each other. Man versus man. Just like killing Jesus. No, the Jews did it. I give a damn what kind of person it was. I don't care what religion they believed in. A human being killed another human being and you called it a sacrifice. That's what you did, though. It's in the book. Okay? Now, while he was writing his book, King James, the bisexual king that I speak of in 1605, his Protestant kingdom, they were killing Catholics, y'all. Oh, no. They were killing Catholics. Because we didn't like the way they were doing things. Now, the Protestants and the Catholics have been at war ever fucking since. Have you ever wondered why? It's because they have two different fucking versions of the same goddamn book that was supposedly written by a holy deity. Now, if he was holy, and he truly, really was respected as a holy, awesome God, I don't think there'd be more than one. Because there is indeed more than one version of the same fucking Bible. How holy can it be? But I want you to remember the entire line is based from the Bible. Adam and Eve, and not Adam and Steve, but James wrote his own version. Him and his male lover. I think it's interesting when someone tells a Christian about the Christian history of their bibble poo, y'all get offended. How dare you disrespect the word of God? How dare you call it holy? Because inside it, you're telling your God he's a punk. Even as picking kings, judges, and priests, God needs man. No, but he does. He does. Not only does he need man, he needs man to kill man. He needed those Catholics to be killed. They had to be persecuted. God couldn't do that shit by himself. That's why he put a king in charge. You understand? He needed us to kill each other. It's fucking required. God needs our assistance. Okay? God can't be killing all kinds of mankind whenever the fuck he wants to. It's just not possible. No, he's not. No, he's not. Let's talk about the dinosaurs right quick. I'm not saying that God isn't real. You're entitled to believe what you want to believe. I don't, however, believe that if a God can make dinosaurs, he could make a trans fucking gender. I said what I said. You have physical fucking proof, okay? Physical effing fucking proof that those beings existed. Okay? Big fucking goddamn mammals, okay? Big damn reptiles, okay? Fucking huge. And those bones exist. They weren't made. They weren't crafted. They were found. They were discovered, unearthed, and stuff. Not like the Bible that was written into existence. No. Now, I used to be a Christian. Don't get it twisted. I have a podcast called Christian Truth. But this is the cracker. I'm not a Christian anymore. I'm a pagan, if we're going to be real. I'm a spiritualist. But I'm not a Christian. I don't believe that anybody has the right to take life. Nobody at all. Okay. Now, I do mean viable life that's already breathing and talking and spitting and shit. You know that one. Okay. That life that's actually, you can see them and stuff. If it's inside of a womb, that life has not been started. I said what I said. Okay. But I did. So all life is precious. In my opinion, okay, in my faith, all right, all life is precious. And I don't have any authority to take another life. It's just not what I was given this life to do. You know what I'm saying? But there are some people who use the Bible to justify killing one of fucking another. To justify going to war against one of fucking another. And to justify taking the throne from one of fucking another. Now, if you're taking the throne and you're using the Bible as relevant proof of why you have a right to the throne, you're using the same book that was written by human beings to justify why God left us all that damn time. And why we are the way we are. Why we have clothes on, because we're disobedient motherfuckers. Okay, all of that, God wrote it down. Because he needed us to know how fucking stupid we were. He needed us to know we were fucking naked because he was fucking stupid. He needed to know these things. He needed us to have judges, priests, and kings. He knew we couldn't do this shit by ourselves because we didn't believe in God. The same people who claim the Bible is real are saying with the belief in that Bible that your God isn't real. He isn't awesome. He isn't supreme. That's what your Bible says. It says it from jump. God took 6 days in a resty fucking poo to make everything we know today. That's what he did, though. He wrote a book about it. Okay, now, so when you're writing these books, God, telling all your business, telling people how much of a punk you are, this is gospel. We all need to know that God failed us. We all need to know that God kept walking the fuck away. And the same God who wrote the book about his punk failure ass is the same one who picked judges, priests, and kings. So if he picked judges, priests, and kings, and you value that fucking authority, then how come, let me tell you again, how come God took no for an answer first? How come he made man first instead of woman, who's the only one to this day can procreate by her fucking self? How come he did those things? If your God is so awesome, if you truly believe that your God is awesome, then why do you believe in a book that says he's not? Why do you believe in a line, a royal line at all? Because it was started in this book that's make-believe. There's a lot of people in this world who do not even believe in a divine creature, do not believe in a divine at all. No afterlife, no higher power, nothing. And I'm going to tell you why. Because Christians of every sect and faith decided to tell that person, you don't believe what I believe, that means you don't exist. You're not real. And nothing you believe in is real. And because I'm a Christian, that automatically makes me right. And you can't tell me otherwise. I'm a Christian throughout time and history, throughout time and history, throughout time and history, throughout time and history. I have been right. And no one is allowed to tell me that I'm wrong. And if you did, we killed you. We hung you. We burned you at the stake. And we forbid you from going to mass. Okay? The same people who claimed that I'm allowed to make my own fucking version of the Bible, you know, King James, his fucking people, the Protestants, okay, they're able to make their own version. Absolutely. You know, because him a holy God and everything. No, him anointed by God after he stole the fucking throne from someone else. That's what you call succession. To this day, she didn't die because she earned that fucking throne. She didn't die as a queen either. You don't respect the God who wrote the book. You damn sure don't respect the book. So why do we respect that she was supposedly royal? Make it make sense. You don't respect the book. How many of y'all Christians want to tell me, I don't believe in the Bible, but I don't believe in this, but you're a Christian, which means you believe that you had a right to kill somebody so that you're covered. An entire book dedicated to telling people how to live their life because God expects it of them. However, that same God that wrote the book that expects these things of us, his words are wishy-washy. No, they're very, very easily changed. Just see all the visions of the Bible that exist today. God wrote every single version, goddamn you. Yes, he did. Well, you didn't like the one that was being persecuted, so they killed the Catholics. That version's no good. King James needed to write another version. A Protestant version, apparently. A Protestant version, which is better than the Catholics version. And don't you ever get that shit twisted. It is. All of those versions, however, come from a book that you claim you worship. You claim you live your life by. But the Second Testament devoids that claim. Let me tell you why. If you have a First Testament that tells you that God gave you all of this responsibility, and the Second Testament, you tell that God, we don't believe in you no fucking more. Show us what the fuck you got. Gave you a miracle, and you killed that miracle? How is it that you claim to worship and believe in a book written by a non-supreme God? Even in 1605, even back then in the 1600s, you writing another version proved you didn't believe in God. There's no way you believe in God if you think you have the authority of any crown, period, and to change God's actual holy word. Bitch is confused, okay? You want to claim you're Christian and you're better than me because you believe that God sent us a miracle that we were supposed to fucking kill. I don't believe that, but I'm less than you because I don't believe in a book that says my God's a punk. I had to rant, y'all. I had to get this shit on my chest. You understand? I had to get off my chest. So, I'll probably go do an episode probably later this week. But thank you for listening to me rant about the non-existent holy royal throne. We caught that Holy Father, the Pope. That's another day, another live. Thank you for coming. And I appreciate you coming. If you guys stopped by and gave us a note and a comment. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you guys. Bye.